25 classic R&B songs from film soundtracks. A great soundtrack can often outshine the film itself, and R&B has been at the heart of this magic for decades. From soulful ballads to upbeat anthems, these unforgettable songs have captured emotions, set the tone, and defined key moments in comedies, dramas, and thrillers. 25. Theme from Shaft by Isaac Hayes. One of the most iconic and influential soundtrack songs in film history came in 1971 with Isaac Hayes' unforgettable Theme from Shaft. Featured in the groundbreaking film Shaft, this track perfectly captures the essence of the movie's tough, charismatic private detective, played by Richard Roundtree. The blend of soulful melodies and funky rhythms creates an atmosphere that mirrors the film's bold and stylish energy, making it the perfect musical backdrop for the story. Isaac Hayes, with his rich baritone voice and masterful production, infused the song with a deep sense of swagger and coolness. The powerful brass sections, smooth strings, and dynamic rhythm section set a tone of confidence and edge that's synonymous with the character of John Shaft. It's a musical declaration of individuality, independence, and strength, a theme that resonates throughout the film. Theme from Shaft became more than just a soundtrack tune, it became a cultural phenomenon. The track's distinctive groove and powerful arrangement quickly made it a hit, climbing to the top of the charts and earning Hayes a well-deserved Academy Award for Best Original Song. This win was groundbreaking, as it made Hayes the first African-American to win the Oscar in this category. 24. Sittin' Up in My Room by Brandy. Sittin' Up in My Room, performed by Brandy, became a standout hit from the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack, which was released in 1995. The song, written and produced by the legendary Babyface, captured the mix of excitement, uncertainty, and longing that comes with having a crush. Brandy's smooth, youthful voice conveys the emotions of a young woman anxiously waiting to find out if her feelings are returned. The track starts off with a laid-back, sultry vibe, perfectly complementing Brandy's sweet and relatable lyrics. In the song, she describes a familiar scenario, sitting up in her room, replaying thoughts of someone she's attracted to, hoping they feel the same way. From the very first verse, it's clear that Brandy's character is caught up in the whirlwind of anticipation and nervous excitement, unsure of how to take things further, but eager for a connection. The song taps into that universal experience of wondering whether a crush will evolve into something more. With Babyface's smooth production, which blends R&B with a touch of quiet storm, Sitting Up in My Room became a defining moment in both Brandy's career and the soundtrack itself. The track's gentle yet catchy melody and Brandy's emotive vocal delivery struck a chord with listeners, making it one of the standout singles from Waiting to Exhale. The song's success helped solidify Brandy as a rising star in the R&B scene and added to the soundtrack's cultural impact, which was already filled with powerful themes of love, loss, and self-discovery. 23. Give You My Heart by Babyface and the Toni Braxton. Give You My Heart, performed by Babyface and Toni Braxton, is a heartfelt duet from the 1992 Boomerang movie soundtrack, starring Eddie Murphy. Babyface, renowned for his smooth production style and emotive songwriting, played a pivotal role in shaping the film's musical landscape. He collaborated with Toni Braxton, a rising star on his label at the time, to create this unforgettable ballad. The song's gentle melodies, driven by Babyface's signature smooth instrumentation, perfectly complement the raw emotion in both his and Braxton's vocals. Their voices intertwine seamlessly, each singer bringing their own unique flavor to the song. Babyface's soothing tenor and Braxton's rich, soulful alto create a powerful dynamic, capturing the vulnerability and depth of a romantic relationship. This track fits perfectly within the context of Boomerang, a film that blends romance, comedy, and personal growth. In the movie, Eddie Murphy's character is a successful womanizer who begins to rethink his views on love and relationships after meeting the right woman. Give You My Heart mirrors these themes of emotional openness and transformation, making it more than just a love song, but a reflection of the journey that the film's characters undergo. 22. Anything by SWV. Anything by SWV is a perfect example of how the 90s saw remixes transform songs into entirely new experiences. Originally released as a smooth ballad on their debut album, It's About Time, the track already captured the heartfelt emotions of love and devotion. However, when it was featured on the Above the Rim's soundtrack, it was reimagined as a new jack swing dance track, a style that was hugely popular at the time. This remix took the song in a completely different direction. The original mellow vibes of the ballad were replaced with a more upbeat, energetic rhythm, blending the smooth vocals of SWV with funky, syncopated beats and a catchy groove. The result was a track that had both the emotional depth of the original version and the vibrant energy needed to fill dance floors. The production, infused with the signature new jack swing style, gave Anything a fresh, lively feel that resonated with a different audience and became a major hit. 21. Tonight, Best You Ever Had by John Legend and Ludacris. Tonight, Best You Ever Had, a collaboration between John Legend and Ludacris, was one of the standout tracks featured in the 2012 romantic comedy Think Like a Man, which starred Kevin Hart, Michael Ealy, Regina Hall, Gabrielle Union, and others. The song plays several times throughout the film, setting the tone for key romantic moments. The track is straightforward in its intent. John Legend serenades his love interest, expressing his desire to give her an unforgettable experience. The lyrics reflect his commitment to making the night truly special, with a promise to be the best she's ever had. Legend's soulful vocals and smooth delivery create a romantic and intimate atmosphere, while Ludacris adds a touch of his signature style with a laid-back rap verse, blending R&B and hip-hop effortlessly. Which R&B soundtrack song brings back the most memories for you? Share your favorite in the comments. 20. Exhale, Shoop Shoop by Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston's presence in any film was always accompanied by unforgettable music, and her role in the 1995 film Waiting to Exhale was no exception. Alongside a stellar cast that included Angela Bassett, Loretta Devine, and Layla Roshan, Houston's voice graced the film's soundtrack with the powerful ballad Exhale, Shoop Shoop. Produced by the legendary Babyface, this track became an instant classic and set the tone for the film's themes of love, loss, and self-discovery. The song's success was undeniable. Exhale, Shoop Shoop topped the Billboard Hot 100 and became one of Houston's most memorable hits. It also earned her a Grammy Award for Best R&B Song, further solidifying her place as one of the greatest vocalists of her generation. The track's success was not just due to Houston's powerful performance, but also Babyface's expert production, which brought out the best in both the song and Houston's voice. It remains a timeless piece of music, resonating with listeners for its universal message of healing and self-empowerment. 19. Are You That Somebody by Aaliyah. Aaliyah's Are You That Somebody was a standout track from the 1998 family film Dr. Dolittle, starring Eddie Murphy. The song, which was the first single from the movie's soundtrack, perfectly blends Aaliyah's smooth, ethereal vocals with the innovative production of her frequent collaborator, Timbaland. In the song, Aaliyah reflects on a relationship that she wants to keep private, questioning whether the other person feels the same way about keeping things discreet. Are You That Somebody became one of Aaliyah's most iconic songs, reaching the top 40 on the Billboard Hot 100 and cementing her status as one of R&B's brightest stars. Its unique sound and unforgettable hook made it a defining track of the late 90s and further showcased Aaliyah's ability to blend sensuality with vulnerability. The song's success also highlighted the strong chemistry between Aaliyah and Timbaland, whose innovative production style would go on to shape the future of R&B and pop music. 18. Call Me a Mack by Usher. Usher was just a teenager when he released his debut single, Call Me a Mack, in 1993. The track was the final single from the Poetic Justice soundtrack, a film starring Janet Jackson and Tupac Shakur. In this song, Usher delivers a confident and playful performance, offering listeners a glimpse into his early understanding of relationships and love. Despite his youth, he's quick to let the world know that he's got the skills to navigate matters of the heart, hence the title, Call Me a Mack, referring to a smooth, charismatic player who knows how to charm and win over others. Though Call Me a Mack wasn't a major hit on the charts, it marked the beginning of Usher's rise to stardom, laying the foundation for his future success in the music industry. The track highlighted his natural talent and charisma, which would later become trademarks of his career. As part of the Poetic Justice soundtrack, the song also contributed to the film's portrayal of relationships and the complexities of love, fitting right in with the themes of the movie. 17. Doesn't Really Matter by Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson's Doesn't Really Matter was the first single from the soundtrack of the 2000 film The Nutty Professor. The Clumps, in which Jackson played Eddie Murphy's love interest, collaborating once again with her longtime partners, producers Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Jackson delivered a track that was both upbeat and filled with meaningful themes. The song reflects the character she portrayed in the film, a woman who falls in love not with a person's physical appearance, but with who they are at their core. The upbeat, danceable vibe of the track made it a commercial success, charting highly and earning a lasting place in Janet Jackson's musical catalog. The song's catchy chorus and positive message perfectly complement the lighthearted tone of The Nutty Professor II, The Clumps, while also offering a deeper reflection on the nature of love. With Doesn't Really Matter, Janet Jackson and her collaborators once again proved their knack for creating music that not only resonates with audiences, but also delivers a thoughtful message with rhythm and style. 16. Lady Marmalade by Christina Aguilera, Maya, Pink, and Lil' Kim. Lady Marmalade has an interesting history, with its original version recorded by the legendary group LaBelle in 1974. However, in 2001, the song was reimagined by a powerhouse collaboration of Christina Aguilera, Maya, Pink, and Lil' Kim for the Moulin Rouge movie soundtrack. This updated rendition, produced by Missy Elliott and Rockwilder, brought a modern twist to the classic blending elements of R&B, hip-hop, and pop into an electrifying performance. Lady Marmalade quickly became a massive hit, topping the charts across the globe, including the coveted #1 spot on the Billboard Hot 100. The song's infectious energy and empowering message of confidence and allure made it an instant anthem. Its success was not only a testament to the vocal talents of the women involved, but also to the fresh production style of Missy Elliott, who helped give the track its bold, modern edge. The collaboration became a defining moment in early 2000s pop music and remains one of the most iconic girl power anthems of the era. Please comment 1 to let me know you'll be watching this video until the end. 15. A Song for Mama by Boyz II Men. In 1997, the heartfelt family drama Soul Food touched audiences with its story of love, tradition, and family bonds. The movie, starring Vanessa Williams, Vivica A. Fox, Nia Long, and Mekhi Phifer, featured a soundtrack that was as emotional and powerful as the film itself. Produced by Babyface's record label, LaFace, the soundtrack included many memorable songs, but none stood out quite like Boyz II, Men's A Song for Mama. This tender ballad became an anthem of appreciation and love, especially for mothers. With its soulful harmonies and heartfelt lyrics, Boyz II Men poured emotion into every note, singing about the unconditional love and sacrifices mothers make for their children. The song's lyrics express gratitude for everything mothers do, often in the background, without seeking recognition. It captures the deep bond between a mother and her children, making it a perfect tribute for Mother's Day, and a song that continues to resonate with listeners today. 14. Don't Let Go, Love, by En Vogue. In 1996, Set It Off the hit theaters starring Queen Latifah, Jada Pinkett, Vivica A. Fox, and Kimberly Elise. The film, a thrilling crime action drama about 4 women who take matters into their own hands, featured a standout soundtrack, with one of its most memorable tracks being En Vogue's Don't Let Go, Love. Produced by Organized Noise, known for their work with groups like Outkast, the song became a massive hit and remains a signature piece in En Vogue's catalog. The production, with its smooth blend of R&B and funk, complements En Vogue's powerful vocals, allowing each member of the group to shine. The song's groove, combined with the raw emotion in the lyrics, captures the essence of a love that is complicated, yet deeply compelling. It's a track that speaks to the heart, and its infectious chorus and smooth rhythm helped it become a major hit on the charts, cementing itself as a classic in 90s R&B. Don't Let Go, Love, not only became a fan favorite, but also helped define the soundtrack for Set It Off, perfectly matching the film's intense and emotionally charged storyline. The song remains a timeless anthem about love, desire, and the complexities of relationships, making it one of En Vogue's most iconic hits. 13. Love of My Life, an Ode to Hip-Hop, by Erykah Badu and Common. Shifting gears to 2002, we have The Brown Sugar, a movie that gave us a sweet taste of love and hip-hop. The soundtrack delivered a gem with Love of My Life, an Ode to Hip-Hop, produced by the one and only Raphael Saadiq. This track brought together the soulful Erykah Badu and the lyrical genius of Common. The song perfectly echoes the movie's central theme, that sometimes love blossoms from the seeds of friendship. Badu and Common's chemistry is undeniable as they paint a picture of a relationship evolving from shared experiences and a deep connection to the music they love. It's a smooth, soulful celebration of hip-hop and the power of love. 12. Superfly by Curtis Mayfield. Let's rewind all the way back to 1972 and talk about a truly iconic soundtrack. Curtis Mayfield's masterpiece for the blaxploitation classic, Superfly. Mayfield didn't just write the music. He crafted a sonic landscape that perfectly captured the film's gritty realism. The title track, Superfly, is a story in itself. Through Mayfield's soulful vocals and evocative lyrics, we get a glimpse into the life of a hustler, exploring the complexities and contradictions of what it means to be superfly. This song wasn't just a hit, it became an anthem, climbing the Billboard charts and solidifying its place in music history. It's a testament to Mayfield's genius and the power of music to tell a story. 11. Work It Out by Beyoncé. Let's stick with 2002 for a moment and talk about Beyoncé's foray into the world of Austin Powers in Gold Member. As Foxy Cleopatra, she brought her star power and undeniable talent to the big screen, and she also blessed us with Work It Out, the soundtrack's lead single. Teaming up with the Neptunes, those sonic wizards, she delivered a track dripping with funk and disco vibes, a sound that, at the time, was a fresh departure for her. It perfectly captured the retro spirit of the movie, showcasing Beyoncé's versatility and giving fans a taste of something a little different, while still undeniably Beyoncé. Which movie soundtrack has the best R&B tracks, in your opinion? Drop your thoughts below. 10. The Best Man I Can Be by Tyrese, Ginuwine, Case, and RL. Jumping ahead to 1999, we have The Best Man, a film with a stellar cast and an equally stellar soundtrack. The standout track, The Best Man I Can Be, brought together some of R&B's heavy hitters, Case, Ginuwine, RL, and Tyrese, with production by the legendary duo Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. This song was destined for greatness. It's a powerful anthem about brotherhood, about the bonds of friendship that become as strong as family. Each artist brings their unique flavor to the track, creating a beautiful tapestry of voices that celebrate the importance of loyalty, support, and striving to be the best version of yourself for the people you care about. 9. Not Gon Cry by Mary J. Blige. Let's talk about 1995 and the powerhouse soundtrack for Waiting to Exhale. This album gave us not one, not two, but 7 singles, including Mary J. Blige's unforgettable Not Gon Cry. Penned and produced by the ever-talented Babyface, this song became an anthem for anyone who's ever faced heartbreak and betrayal. It perfectly captured the pain and resilience of Angela Bassett's character in the film, dealing with an unfaithful partner. Mary's raw emotion, her signature blend of vulnerability and strength, shines through every note. It's a classic example of her ability to tap into the depths of human emotion, solidifying her reign as the queen of heartbreak anthems. 8. I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston. In 1992, Whitney Houston's The Bodyguard became a massive hit, not only as a film, but also for its iconic soundtrack, which solidified Houston's legacy as one of the greatest vocalists of all time. Among the standout tracks from the soundtrack, her rendition of Dolly Parton's I Will Always Love You became an absolute phenomenon. Originally written and recorded by Parton in 1973 as a country ballad, Houston transformed the song into a soaring pop ballad that showcased her extraordinary vocal range and emotional depth. Houston's version of I Will Always Love You retains the essence of Parton's heartfelt lyrics, but it's her powerhouse vocals that elevate the song to another level. From the gentle, tender opening to the breathtaking crescendo, Houston's voice exudes love, pain, and a sense of finality, making it an unforgettable experience for listeners. The way she interprets the lyrics, about leaving someone but doing so with deep respect and affection, connects universally, turning it into an anthem of farewell and undying love. The track became the best-selling single by a female artist in U.S. history, a record that is still celebrated today. It topped the Billboard Hot 100 for a stunning 14 weeks and dominated global charts, becoming a timeless classic. Houston's performance didn't just capture the spirit of the song, it redefined it. The song's instrumental arrangement, which features a delicate piano and sweeping strings, perfectly complements Houston's vocal performance, creating a cinematic feel that matched the emotional intensity of the film. 7. I Wanna Know by Joe. In 1999, the film The Wood, starring Taye Diggs, Richard T. Jones, and Omar Epps, captivated audiences with its heartwarming story about friendship and love. The film's soundtrack featured several memorable tracks, one of the most notable being Joe's smooth ballad, I Wanna Know. I Wanna Know showcases Joe's ability to blend tenderness with sensuality, creating a track that resonates with anyone who's ever been in love and wanted to do everything right for someone special. The song's smooth, laid-back vibe complements the romantic themes of The Wood, adding to the film's nostalgic exploration of growing up and navigating relationships. The track became a hit on the R&B charts, and its romantic, soulful vibe earned it a place in the hearts of listeners. It's a perfect example of how Joe's vocal ability and songwriting talent come together to create a song that feels both personal and universal, with a timeless appeal that continues to make it a favorite in R&B music. 6. Car Wash by Rose Royce. In 1976, the comedic film Car Wash brought together a talented ensemble cast, including Richard Pryor, George Carlin, and Garrett Morris. The movie, which centers around the quirky employees of a car wash, was paired with a vibrant soundtrack created by the funk band Rose Royce. The standout track from the soundtrack was the title song Car Wash, which became an instant classic. With its infectious groove and upbeat tempo, Car Wash perfectly captured the energy and style of the mid-70s, blending funk with disco elements. The song's lively brass sections, funky bass line, and catchy chorus made it a dance floor favorite. The fun and lighthearted nature of the song mirrored the comedic tone of the film, creating an unforgettable pairing between music and movie. Car Wash quickly became Rose Royce's most successful single, topping the charts and becoming an anthem of the disco era. Its catchy refrain and irresistible rhythm made it an enduring hit, and it remains a beloved classic to this day. The song's influence extends beyond the film, often used in various media to evoke the spirit of the 70s. Did any of these tracks make you want to hit repeat? Which one would you add to the list? 5. For You I Will by Monica. In 1996, the iconic animated film Space Jam hit theaters, starring basketball legend Michael Jordan, alongside a slew of beloved Looney Tunes characters. The soundtrack, which featured an array of artists from various genres, included the powerful ballad For You I Will by R&B singer Monica. This song was written by renowned songwriter Diane Warren, known for her ability to craft deeply emotional ballads for some of the biggest names in pop and soul. Monica's heartfelt performance of For You I Will became a standout track on the Space Jam's soundtrack. The song's lyrics express unwavering devotion and support, with Monica singing about always being there for a loved one, no matter the circumstances. Her smooth, soulful voice brings a sense of sincerity and strength to the track, making it a perfect anthem for anyone committed to standing by someone they care about. The song's themes of loyalty and love resonated deeply with audiences, and its presence on the Space Jam's soundtrack helped cement Monica's status as an R&B powerhouse. For You I Will not only became a fan favorite, but also showcased Monica's ability to convey raw emotion and vulnerability through her music. 4. Try Again by Aaliyah. In 2000, Aaliyah made her acting debut in the action-packed film Romeo Must Die, starring alongside martial arts legend Jet Li. As her first venture into film, Aaliyah also contributed to the movie's soundtrack with one of her biggest hits, Try Again. Produced by her frequent collaborator Timbaland, the song became an instant classic, showcasing Aaliyah's unique blend of R&B, pop, and hip-hop influences. Try Again is an empowering anthem about perseverance, particularly in the context of romance. In the song, Aaliyah sings about the challenges of pursuing a love interest, urging listeners to keep trying even when things don't go as planned. The lyrics, "If at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again," became an iconic catchphrase, resonating not only with fans of the song, but with anyone facing obstacles in life. The track's smooth, seductive beats, paired with Aaliyah's soothing yet strong vocals, made it an immediate hit. It topped the charts, becoming one of Aaliyah's signature songs. Its success also helped establish her as a multi-talented artist, equally skilled in both music and film. The song's success was a testament to Aaliyah's ability to blend heartfelt emotion with catchy, innovative sound, marking a pivotal moment in her career. 3. The Sweetest Thing by Refugee Camp All-Stars feat. Lauryn Hill. In 1997, the romantic comedy Love Jones starring Lorenz Tate and Nia Long, captivated audiences with its exploration of love, relationships, and poetry. One of the standout tracks from the film's soundtrack is The Sweetest Thing, a collaboration between the refugee camp All-Stars and Lauryn Hill. In this track, Lauryn Hill's smooth, soulful vocals take center stage as she sings about the overwhelming sweetness of love. The song's upbeat, jazzy rhythm perfectly matches the film's blend of romance and urban charm, with Hill's voice adding an emotional depth that resonates with anyone who has experienced the intoxicating feelings of infatuation. Her lyrics express the joy and warmth she feels from her love interest, highlighting how their presence makes everything feel sweet and elevated. The Sweetest Thing quickly became a favorite for fans of the film and music lovers alike. Hill's ability to seamlessly fuse hip-hop, soul, and R&B into one song solidified her place as one of the most innovative artists of the 90s. The track's catchy melody and heartfelt lyrics make it an unforgettable part of the Love Jones soundtrack, encapsulating the tender emotions that the movie beautifully explored. 2. Think Like a Man by Jennifer Hudson and Ne-Yo feat. Rick Ross. Released in 2012, Think Like a Man was a standout track on the soundtrack for the romantic comedy Think Like a Man, which starred a star-studded ensemble, including Kevin Hart, Gabrielle Union, and Michael Ealy. The song features R&B powerhouses Jennifer Hudson and Ne-Yo, along with rapper Rick Ross, making it a perfect fit for the film's themes of love, relationships, and the complexities that come with them. On the track, Hudson and Ne-Yo deliver a powerful message about the emotional roller coaster of relationships. The song highlights the challenges couples face, with ups and downs that test their commitment. The chorus, with Hudson's powerhouse vocals and Ne-Yo's smooth delivery, captures the essence of love's complexities, while Rick Ross's verse adds a layer of masculinity and raw honesty to the track. The song's catchy beat and relatable lyrics resonate with anyone who's been through the emotional highs and lows of love, making it an anthem for the film's exploration of relationships and dating dynamics. Think Like a Man was a commercial success and became a beloved anthem for fans of both the movie and the music, perfectly complementing the film's mix of humor, romance, and heart. 1. Independent Women, Part 1 by Destiny's Child. Released in 2000, Independent Women, Part 1 by Destiny's Child became an instant anthem, especially after being featured on the soundtrack of Charlie's Angels, which starred Drew Barrymore, Cameron Diaz, and Lucy Liu. The song, with its empowering message, resonated with women around the world, highlighting themes of independence, self-reliance, and strength. With Beyoncé, Kelly Rowland, and Michelle Williams delivering powerful vocals, the track encourages women to stand on their own, make their own decisions, and define their own worth without relying on anyone else. The lyrics of the song emphasize financial independence, confidence, and self-respect, all while celebrating female empowerment. Independent Women Part 1 not only became a hit for the movie, but also solidified its place as a cultural touchstone, inspiring countless women to embrace their independence. The song topped the charts, becoming one of Destiny's Child's most iconic tracks and an enduring anthem for female empowerment. The 20 best artists and bands of the 1980s. Ever wonder why the 80s sound keeps making a comeback? From hit TV shows to viral TikTok trends, the music of that decade is everywhere. It's a sound that defined a generation and continues to resonate with new audiences today. So, who were the musical masterminds behind this 80s explosion? Tears for Fears. Kurt Smith and Roland Orzabal, the creative force behind the band, had an incredible talent for crafting catchy anthemic hits that resonated with audiences worldwide. When you think of iconic 80s songs, it's impossible not to think of Tears for Fears. Tracks like Shout and Everybody Wants to Rule the World became instant classics, capturing the spirit of the decade and securing their place in music history. These songs weren't just catchy tunes, they were powerful statements with thought-provoking lyrics that explored themes of social anxiety and political unrest. The band's 1985 album, Songs from the Big Chair, was a monumental success. It spawned multiple chart-topping singles and showcased the band's musical depth and emotional range. To this day, it's considered their defining masterpiece and a must-listen for any fan of 80s music. While the band's focus has shifted away from creating new music, both Kurt Smith and Roland Orzabal remain active under the Tears for Fears banner. They continue to tour and perform their classic hits, captivating audiences with their energetic stage presence and timeless music. Def Leppard. Emerging from the new wave of British heavy metal, Def Leppard quickly made a name for themselves with their unique blend of hard rock and heavy metal. But it was their savvy move towards a more commercial and pop-infused sound that catapulted them to superstardom. Albums like Pyromania in 1983 and Hysteria in 1987 became absolute monster hits. These records weren't just successful, they were defining moments in 80s rock. Def Leppard's knack for crafting infectious melodies and their undeniable stage presence turned them into one of the biggest rock acts of the decade. Think of iconic 80s anthems, and you'll instantly think of Def Leppard. Songs like Rock of Ages, Pour Some Sugar on Me, and Photograph became staples on MTV and radio stations worldwide. These tracks weren't just catchy tunes, they were cultural touchstones that defined a generation of rock fans. The band's lineup, Joe Elliott on vocals, Phil Collen and Vivian Campbell on guitars, Rick Savage on bass, and Rick Allen on drums, became legendary. Their story of resilience, particularly Allen's inspiring comeback after losing his arm in a car accident, only added to their appeal. Def Leppard's success hasn't faded with time. Their recent stadium tours have proven that their music remains as relevant and powerful as ever. New generations of fans are discovering their classic albums, and the band's energetic live shows continue to draw huge crowds. Guns N' Roses. A band that epitomized the raw energy and rebellious spirit of 80s rock. They weren't just musicians, they were a force of nature that injected a shot of adrenaline into the music scene and helped shape the sound of arena rock for decades to come. Their 1987 debut album, Appetite for Destruction, was a game-changer. It was a raw, powerful, and unapologetically loud record that captured the hearts and minds of a generation hungry for something real. It launched them into superstardom and solidified their place as one of rock's all-time greats. Think of iconic rock anthems, and Guns N' Roses will instantly come to mind. Songs like Sweet Child O' Mine, Welcome to the Jungle, and Paradise City became instant classics, blasting from radios and MTV, defining the sound of the late 80s. These tracks weren't just catchy, they were rebellious, energetic, and full of attitude. The band's lineup, Axl Rose's powerful vocals, Slash's iconic guitar riffs, Duff McKagan's driving bass lines, Izzy Stradlin's rhythm guitar, and Steven Adler's drumming, their chemistry was undeniable, and their live shows were explosive, filled with raw energy and a sense of danger. Guns N' Roses' impact on rock music is undeniable. They brought a sense of danger and excitement back to the genre, inspiring countless bands and influencing the sound of hard rock for years to come. Even today, nearly 40 years later, their music continues to resonate with new generations of fans. Their songs are still played on radio stations worldwide, and their recent reunion tours have been met with massive enthusiasm. Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy Osbourne, the Prince of Darkness, whose solo career in the 80s was just as legendary as his time with Black Sabbath. Ozzy didn't just transition from a band to a solo artist. He exploded onto the scene with a renewed energy and a unique style that solidified his place as a true icon of heavy metal. His 1980 solo debut, Blizzard of Oz, was a revelation. It wasn't just a continuation of Black Sabbath, it was something fresh and exciting. Ozzy's songwriting took a new direction, and his outlandish stage persona captivated audiences worldwide. He wasn't just a singer, he was a performer, a showman who embraced the theatrical side of rock and roll. Ozzy's success wasn't just about his personality, it was about the incredible musicians he surrounded himself with. Guitarists like Randy Rhoads, Jake E. Lee, and Zakk Wylde brought their own unique talents to the table, creating a powerful and dynamic sound that defined Ozzy's solo career. Throughout the 80s, Ozzy released a string of classic albums, each one building on the success of the last. He became the most recognizable and successful solo act in heavy metal, a testament to his talent, his charisma, and his ability to connect with audiences on a visceral level. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Tom Petty, a true songwriting legend, left an indelible mark on the music scene, both through his solo work and his incredible journey with the Heartbreakers. While their roots stretched back to the mid-70s, the 80s were a pivotal decade for Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. They achieved critical and commercial success with albums like Southern Accents, which showcased their ability to blend classic rock and roll with a touch of Southern charm. This album featured hits like Don't Come Around Here No More and Rebels, which became staples of rock radio. Tom Petty's solo debut, Full Moon Fever, further solidified his status as a songwriting powerhouse. This album, released in 1989, featured some of his most iconic songs, including Free Fallin', I Won't Back Down, and Runnin' Down a Dream. These tracks became anthems for a generation and showcased Petty's ability to craft timeless, relatable songs that captured the spirit of American rock and roll. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers were more than just a studio band. They were a phenomenal live act. Their concerts were legendary, filled with energy, passion, and a deep connection with their audience. They toured extensively throughout the 80s and beyond, building a loyal fan base that appreciated their authenticity and their dedication to their craft. Did I miss any iconic 80s bands or artists that deserve a spot on this list? Let me know in the comments. Depeche Mode. Depeche Mode's lineup, Dave Gahan, Andy Fletcher, Alan Wilder, Martin Gore, in the early years, were masters of their craft. They embraced synthesizers and electronic instruments, pushing the boundaries of what was possible in pop music. Their sound was both futuristic and deeply emotional, capturing the anxieties and aspirations of a generation coming of age in a rapidly changing world. The 80s were a defining decade for Depeche Mode. They released a string of albums that became instant classics, showcasing their ability to craft catchy melodies, thought-provoking lyrics, and innovative soundscapes. They weren't just making music, they were creating an atmosphere, a mood, a feeling that resonated with millions of fans around the world. Think of iconic 80s synth-pop anthems, and Depeche Mode will instantly come to mind. Songs like Just Can't Get Enough, Personal Jesus, and Never Let Me Down Again became staples of the decade, defining the sound of new wave and influencing countless artists. These tracks were more than just catchy tunes. They were sonic explorations that pushed the boundaries of pop music. Even though Andy Fletcher sadly passed away in 2022, Dave Gahan and Martin Gore continue to carry the Depeche Mode torch, creating new music and touring the world. Their recent album, Memento Mori, released in 2023, proves that their creative fire is still burning bright, and their music continues to resonate with fans both old and new. Metallica. Metallica's rise to fame in the 80s was nothing short of meteoric. Their albums Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and Justice for All became instant classics, defining the sound of thrash metal and influencing countless bands. These albums weren't just collections of songs. They were sonic journeys, filled with complex arrangements, blistering guitar solos, and James Hetfield's signature growl. Metallica's music wasn't just about aggression, it was about exploring complex themes of anger, alienation, and social injustice. They tapped into the frustrations of a generation, giving voice to those who felt marginalized and misunderstood. Their music became a soundtrack for rebellion, a cathartic release for those who felt the weight of the world on their shoulders. The band's lineup: James Hetfield on vocals and rhythm guitar, Lars Ulrich on drums, Kirk Hammett on lead guitar, and Cliff Burton, who tragically passed away in 1986, on bass, was a force to be reckoned with. Their chemistry was undeniable, their musicianship was impeccable, and their live shows were legendary. But Metallica's story didn't end in the 80s. They continued to evolve and experiment, pushing the boundaries of metal and expanding their fan base with each new album. They became a global phenomenon, selling millions of records and headlining stadiums around the world. Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, the king of pop, a true icon whose music, dance moves, and sheer stage presence transcended boundaries and captivated the world. His journey from child prodigy in the Jackson 5 to global superstar is a testament to his incredible talent, his unwavering dedication to his craft, and his ability to connect with audiences on a profound emotional level. Michael Jackson's solo career in the 80s was nothing short of a phenomenon. Albums like Thriller and Bad shattered records, becoming the best-selling albums of all time and defining the sound of pop music for a generation. These albums weren't just collections of songs. They were cultural events that transcended musical genres and captivated audiences of all ages and backgrounds. Michael's music was a fusion of pop, R&B, funk, and rock, infused with his signature energy and his innovative approach to songwriting and production. His voice was instantly recognizable, his dance moves were mesmerizing, and his music videos were groundbreaking works of art that pushed the boundaries of visual storytelling. Think of iconic 80s songs, and you'll undoubtedly think of Michael Jackson. Hits like Billie Jean, Beat It, Thriller, and Man in the Mirror became anthems of the decade, dominating the airwaves and MTV. These songs weren't just catchy tunes. They were cultural touchstones that transcended musical genres and became part of the global lexicon. Michael Jackson's influence on music and popular culture is immeasurable. He revolutionized the music video as an art form, broke down racial barriers in the music industry, and inspired generations of artists with his innovative approach to music and performance. His music continues to be celebrated and enjoyed by fans around the world, and his legacy as one of the greatest entertainers of all time is secure. Even though Michael tragically passed away in 2009, his music continues to live on. His songs are timeless, his dance moves are still imitated, and his influence can be felt in the work of countless artists today. Prince. Prince's career exploded in the 80s, a decade that saw him release a string of iconic albums that showcased his incredible talent and his boundless creativity. Albums like Dirty Mind, Purple Rain, and Around the World in a Day were not just commercially successful. They were critically acclaimed masterpieces that pushed the boundaries of pop music. Prince's music was a unique blend of funk, rock, pop, and R&B, infused with his signature sensuality and a touch of psychedelic flair. He was a master of melody, a guitar virtuoso, and a vocalist with a range that could soar from a soulful whisper to a powerful scream. His songs were infectious, his lyrics were provocative, and his stage presence was electrifying. Hits like Let's Go Crazy, When Doves Cry, and Kiss became anthems of the decade, defining the sound of 80s pop and inspiring countless artists. Prince's influence on music is immeasurable. He broke down barriers between genres, challenged societal norms with his androgynous image and sexually charged lyrics, and inspired generations of artists to be bold, creative, and unapologetically themselves. His incredible work ethic was legendary. From 1978 to 2015, he released an astonishing 39 studio albums, constantly experimenting with new sounds and pushing his creative boundaries. He was a true innovator, a musical chameleon who could effortlessly shift between genres and styles. Even after his untimely passing in 2017, Prince's music continues to inspire and captivate audiences. His posthumous album, Welcome to America, released in 2021, further showcased his genius and his relevance in today's musical landscape. Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston, a true icon of American music, whose incredible voice and captivating stage presence made her a global superstar. Her rise to fame in the 80s was nothing short of meteoric, and her impact on the music industry continues to be felt today. Whitney's early albums, Whitney Houston and Whitney, showcased her incredible vocal talent and set the stage for her future success. These records were filled with catchy pop tunes and powerful ballads that highlighted her range and ability to connect with audiences on an emotional level. But it was her 1987 album, Whitney, that truly launched her into the stratosphere of pop stardom. The album featured the mega hit, I Wanna Dance with Somebody Who Loves Me, a song that became an instant classic and captured the spirit of the 80s like few others. It was a song that made you want to get up and dance, and it showcased Whitney's infectious energy and undeniable star power. Whitney's music wasn't just about catchy tunes, it was about her incredible voice. She had a range and power that few singers could match, and her ability to convey emotion through her singing was truly remarkable. Her ballads, like I Will Always Love You, became timeless classics that showcased her vocal prowess and her ability to connect with audiences on a deep emotional level. Even though Whitney tragically passed away in 2012, her legacy continues to shine brightly. Her music remains as popular as ever, and her influence can be heard in the work of countless singers today. Tina Turner. Tina's music was a unique blend of genres. She seamlessly fused R&B, rock, and soul, creating a sound that was both powerful and soulful, gritty and glamorous. Her voice was her instrument, a powerful force that could convey a range of emotions, from vulnerability to fierce determination. The 80s saw Tina's career reach new heights. Hits like What's Love Got to Do With It, The Best, and We Don't Need Another Hero became anthems of the decade, showcasing her incredible vocal range and her ability to connect with audiences on a deep emotional level. Her music wasn't just about singing, it was about storytelling, about expressing the joys and struggles of life with raw honesty. Tina's stage presence was legendary. She was a dynamic performer who commanded attention with her every move. Her energy was infectious, her dance moves were electrifying, and her voice filled every corner of the arena. She was a true entertainer who knew how to captivate an audience and leave them wanting more. Tina's influence extended far beyond the music industry. She was an inspiration to women around the world, a symbol of strength, resilience, and self-empowerment. She broke down barriers and defied expectations, proving that age is just a number and that passion and talent can conquer any obstacle. Even though Tina sadly passed away in 2023, her legacy continues to shine brightly. Her music remains as powerful and relevant as ever, and her influence can be felt in the work of countless artists today. She was a true pioneer, a trailblazer who paved the way for generations of female artists. Slayer. Let's talk about Slayer, a band that truly embodies the raw power of 80s thrash metal. These guys weren't just musicians, they were pioneers who helped shape the sound of extreme metal as we know it. From the very beginning, Slayer was all about pushing boundaries. Their early albums, like Hell Awaits, Rain in Blood, and South of Heaven, were sonic explosions. Fast, aggressive, and unapologetically heavy, these records set a new standard for intensity in metal. The band's lineup, Tom Araya on bass and vocals, Kerry King and Jeff Hanneman on guitars, and Dave Lombardo on drums, became legendary. Their musicianship was ferocious, and their live shows were infamous for their sheer energy and aggression. Slayer's impact on the metal scene was immense. They inspired countless bands in the hardcore and metal genres, influencing everything from the way bands approached songwriting to the way they performed on stage. Even today, decades later, you can hear Slayer's influence in a wide range of heavy music. They weren't just a band, they were a force of nature. Slayer helped define a generation of metal, and their legacy continues to inspire and energize metalheads around the world. They cemented their place as one of metal's most cherished and influential bands, and their music remains as powerful and relevant today as it was back in the 80s. Van Halen. The core of Van Halen, brothers Alex and Eddie Van Halen, along with frontman David Lee Roth and bassist Michael Anthony, formed in the early 70s, but it was the 80s that saw them truly explode onto the global music scene. Their debut album in 1978 was a game changer, but it was the string of albums that followed that solidified their place in rock history. Van Halen's music was a fusion of hard rock, heavy metal, and a touch of pop sensibility. Eddie Van Halen's innovative guitar playing was a revelation. His lightning-fast solos and tapping techniques became legendary. David Lee Roth's charismatic vocals and energetic stage presence added another dimension to the band's appeal. Think of iconic 80s rock anthems, and you'll instantly think of Van Halen. Songs like Panama, Jump, Hot for Teacher, and Unchained became staples of rock radio and MTV. These were songs that made you want to crank up the volume, jump around, and let loose. Van Halen's live shows were legendary. They were a spectacle of sound and energy, with Eddie's guitar pyrotechnics and Roth's acrobatic stage antics captivating audiences worldwide. They were a band that truly knew how to put on a show. While the 80s were their peak, Van Halen's success continued into the 90s and beyond. They went through lineup changes, but the core of their sound remained. Eddie Van Halen's guitar playing continued to inspire generations of musicians, and their music continued to resonate with fans around the world. The tragic passing of Eddie Van Halen in 2020 marked the end of an era. Van Halen officially retired, leaving behind a legacy of incredible music and unforgettable live performances. Madonna. Madonna's music was a fusion of pop, dance, and electronic elements, creating a sound that was both infectious and innovative. But it wasn't just her music that made her a star. It was her image, her attitude, and her willingness to challenge societal norms. She embraced her sexuality, her femininity, and her power, inspiring a generation of women to do the same. The 80s were Madonna's launching pad to superstardom. Hits like a Virgin, Material Girl, and La Isla Bonita became anthems of the decade, dominating the airwaves and MTV. These songs weren't just catchy tunes, they were cultural statements that challenged traditional notions of female sexuality and identity. Madonna's music videos were equally groundbreaking. They were mini-movies that pushed the boundaries of visual storytelling, often incorporating provocative imagery and social commentary. She used her platform to address issues like religion, sexuality, and gender equality, sparking conversations and challenging societal norms. Madonna's influence on pop culture is immeasurable. She redefined the role of the female pop star, paving the way for countless artists who followed in her footsteps. She embraced her individuality, her sexuality, and her power, inspiring generations of women to be confident, independent, and unapologetically themselves. And the incredible thing is, Madonna's career hasn't slowed down. She has continued to evolve and reinvent herself throughout the decades, constantly pushing creative boundaries and remaining a relevant force in the music industry. She is a true icon, a testament to the power of creativity, ambition, and self-expression. Iron Maiden. They were pioneers, innovators, and masters of their craft, creating a sound and an image that became synonymous with the very essence of heavy metal. The 80s were a defining decade for Iron Maiden. They unleashed a string of classic albums that became cornerstones of the genre. The Number of the Beast, Power Slave, and Somewhere in Time weren't just records. They were sonic adventures that transported listeners to a world of epic battles, mythical creatures, and soaring melodies. Iron Maiden's unique sound was built on a foundation of powerful guitar work, soaring vocals, and a driving rhythm section. Steve Harris's galloping bass lines, Adrian Smith and Dave Murray's intricate guitar harmonies, Nico McBrain's thunderous drumming, and Bruce Dickinson's operatic vocals created a sonic tapestry that was both intricate and powerful. But Iron Maiden was more than just music. They were a visual spectacle. Their iconic mascot, Eddie, became a symbol of the band's rebellious spirit and their embrace of the theatrical side of heavy metal. Their stage shows were legendary, filled with pyrotechnics, elaborate set designs, and Dickinson's captivating stage presence. Iron Maiden's impact on the metal scene was immense. They inspired countless bands, helped define the sound of multiple metal subgenres, and built a loyal fan base that spans generations and continents. Their music continues to resonate with fans around the world, and their influence can be heard in the work of many contemporary metal bands. The Cure. At the heart of The Cure was the enigmatic frontman, Robert Smith, whose creative vision guided the band's unique sound and aesthetic. Early albums like Faith, Pornography, and The Top showcased The Cure's ability to blend the raw energy of post-punk with undeniably catchy pop melodies. This distinctive sound resonated with a generation of music fans who were looking for something different, something deeper than the mainstream. The release of Disintegration in 1989 marked a turning point for The Cure. This album propelled them from underground heroes to a mainstream phenomenon. The album's atmospheric soundscapes and emotionally charged lyrics resonated with a wider audience, cementing The Cure's status as a musical force to be reckoned with. But The Cure's success didn't stop there. Hits like Friday I'm in Love continued to climb the charts in the following decades, solidifying their place in popular culture. Their music transcended genres and generations, capturing the hearts of fans worldwide. Even today, The Cure remains a vital and influential band. They continue to tour extensively, playing to sold-out arenas and captivating audiences with their powerful live performances. Though they haven't released a new album since 2008's 413 Dream, their legacy continues to thrive. U2. In the 80s, U2 wasn't just a band. They were a force of nature that reshaped the musical landscape. Their early albums, War, The Unforgettable Fire, and The Joshua Tree, were game changers. They blended the raw energy of post-punk with a newfound sense of pop sensibility, creating a sound that was both powerful and accessible. This unique approach to rock music helped them achieve massive mainstream success and influenced countless other bands. U2's music wasn't just about catchy tunes, it was about making a statement. Songs like Sunday Bloody Sunday, Pride, In the Name of Love, and With or Without You tackled social and political issues with passion and conviction. They became anthems for a generation searching for meaning and change. The band's lineup, Bono's soaring vocals, The Edge's innovative guitar work, Adam Clayton's solid bass lines and Larry Mullen Jr.'s powerful drumming, became iconic. Their live performances were legendary, filled with energy, emotion, and a sense of connection with their audience. Their success continued well beyond the 80s, but their foundation was built on the groundbreaking music they created during that decade. U2 became one of the most successful rock acts in history, and their influence can still be felt today. They showed the world that rock music could be both popular and profound, and their legacy continues to inspire and resonate with music lovers everywhere. Who's your absolute favorite 80s artist from this list? What's that one song that instantly transports you back to the decade? Feel free to share in the comments. The Police. While they had tasted success in the late 70s, it was the 80s that saw the Police reach the pinnacle of their career. Albums like Zenyatta Mondatta, Ghost in the Machine, and Synchronicity became massive hits, showcasing their ability to blend elements of pop rock, reggae, and new wave into a cohesive and captivating sound. The Police's music was intelligent and sophisticated, but it was also incredibly accessible. Their songs were filled with catchy melodies, intricate harmonies, and a driving rhythm section that was second to none. Stuart Copeland's drumming was a force of nature, Andy Summers' guitar work was both inventive and melodic, and Sting's vocals and songwriting were the glue that held it all together. Think of iconic 80s songs, and you'll undoubtedly think of The Police. Tracks like Message in a Bottle, Every Breath You Take, and Don't Stand So Close to Me became instant classics, dominating the airwaves and cementing their place in music history. These songs showcased their ability to write both infectious pop hits and introspective, emotionally resonant ballads. The Police's impact on the music scene was profound. They inspired countless bands, helped popularize the blending of genres, and left behind a catalog of songs that continue to be celebrated and enjoyed today. Their music has stood the test of time, and their influence can be heard in the work of many contemporary artists. NWA. NWA's career may have been short-lived, but their impact was seismic. Their 1988 debut album, Straight Outta Compton, was a game-changer. It was a raw, unflinching portrayal of life in Compton, California, and it challenged the status quo in a way that no other hip-hop album had before. The group's lineup, Ice Cube, MC Ren, Eazy-E, DJ Yella, Dr. Dre, and Arabian Prince, was a force to be reckoned with. Their lyrics were powerful, their beats were innovative, and their attitude was undeniable. They brought a new level of intensity and authenticity to hip-hop, and their music resonated with a generation that felt marginalized and unheard. Songs like The Police, Straight Outta Compton, and Gangsta Gangsta became anthems for a generation. They were controversial, they were confrontational, but they were also undeniably powerful. They sparked conversations about race, poverty, and police brutality, and they forced the world to pay attention to the realities of life in marginalized communities. NWA's influence extended far beyond the 80s. Their sound and their attitude became a blueprint for countless hip-hop artists, and their impact can still be felt in the music industry today. Dr. Dre and Ice Cube went on to have incredibly successful solo careers, further solidifying their place as legends in the hip-hop world. Bruce Springsteen. While he had already made a name for himself in the 70s, the 80s were a defining decade for Springsteen. He released a string of albums that became classics of the American songbook, cementing his status as one of the most important and influential artists of his generation. Albums like The River, Nebraska, and Born in the USA showcased Springsteen's incredible range as a songwriter. He could write anthemic rockers that filled stadiums, introspective ballads that touched the heart, and poignant stories that captured the struggles of working-class America. His music wasn't just about catchy melodies, it was about the human experience. Songs like Born in the USA, Dancing in the Dark, and I'm on Fire became anthems for a generation, capturing the hopes, dreams, and frustrations of everyday Americans. Springsteen's live performances were legendary. He and the E Street Band were a force of nature, delivering high-energy shows that lasted for hours and left audiences exhausted but exhilarated. His concerts were more than just music. They were a communal experience, a celebration of life, and a testament to the power of rock and roll. And the amazing thing is, he's still going strong. Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band continue to tour and make music, proving that his music is timeless and his connection with his audience is as strong as ever. His latest album, Only the Strong Survive, released in 2022, shows that he's still got the magic touch, still able to create music that moves and inspires. Please comment 1 to let me know you'll be watching this video until the end. Did any of your favorite R&B movie moments make the list? Let me know in the comments if I missed any iconic tracks. If you enjoyed this dive into unforgettable soundtracks, check out the other videos in this series for more nostalgia. Don't forget to subscribe and share who remembers with friends who love reliving those classic moments. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.